as the chart shows, we have a big deadline coming up on March 2nd, which is one of the reasons why we're here to remind everyone to fill out their FAFSA applications and really make sure that they get that information into the Student Aid Commission as soon as possible, because that's really the first step that we can actually assist students who really meet all those income verifications. Education obviously is one of the pillars of our state. It's one of the reasons we have the 8th largest economy in the world, and our investment in K through 12, but also in higher education is, again, one of the things that we can continue to be very, very proud of. We're here today because we want to do everything possible to streamline that process so students who are graduating from high school, entering into a higher education institution, can get access to the funding they deserve. We've heard all the stories recently of skyrocketing debt, of the lack of funding, of really lack of access given the high cost of higher education. Well, we're here today because there's one very, very simple way that we can streamline that process, which is why I introduced AB 2160. It's going to require every high school to electronically transmit GPA verification of their graduating 12th graders to the California Student Aid Commission. And that is critical because without that information, students can't get access to Cal Grants. They're not going to be getting access to our brand new middle-class scholarship. And really, they're not going to get access to higher education. What we've seen is when students obviously don't get access to that funding, some things happen where they don't go to school. And that would be the biggest, I think, travesty of all. We have a number of schools that already are doing it. In the Bay Area, 128 out of 320 high schools are already doing this. We see schools in LA, Stockton, San Jose, Fresno, really all over the state already doing it. But the bigger question is, why aren't the other schools doing it? What is the issue? What happens with those students? Do they fall through the cracks? Are they not going to schools? Really, this simple reform is going to make a huge impact on access to aid and making sure that we can make higher education much more accessible to those students who really are in need.
We know from the research that the simple act of filling out a financial aid application increases a student's chances of going to college and finishing college. Now, with those facts in mind, we've done the research and looked at the impact on California students.
March 2nd is the deadline for completion of the FAFSA and to get your GPA submitted. And currently, if students have not had their GPA submitted, they can go to the Commission's website at csac.ca.gov, and we have a written form that can be downloaded from our system, and the student needs to submit it and have it postmarked by March 2nd. This proposed legislation is very necessary. There are school districts currently who are not submitting their data electronically and making it easier for their students to get their GPA to the Commission and therefore under consideration for the Cal Grant.
There's a huge correlation for districts or schools that submit that information electronically and the application rates for Cal Grant. We all know that everybody's busy, and students during this very stressful time as they're applying for college and they have to apply for financial aid, they have so many things to do, whether it's writing essays, taking tests, getting letters of recommendation. It's obviously an extraordinarily stressful time. So if we continue to put barriers in their way, there's absolutely no reason to expect a different result. And that's really why we're here. We're trying to take one more barrier out of their way to really simplify that process so that students can get access to the money they already deserve.